Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3 is now officially in production and is set to come out sometime this year. What is it going to be about? Are we going to get a higher budget? Are we going to see more of the crossbreeds? What do they look like? What is actually happening in the story? I'm here to answer some of those questions, and this video is about looking over everything we know so far about Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3. So yeah, I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen the Twisted Childhood universe movies, Bambi the Reckoning, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, but both of the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies have become iconic in the world of horror so far, and they have both made an unholy amount of money, so a third movie was inevitable, and we finally have production moving on the third Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie. And the fourth Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie will be the crossover Poohniverse Monsters Assemble. It still doesn't feel like a real movie as I say it. But over on Scott Chambers' Instagram, who's the director of many of the Twisted Childhood universe movies, he has provided a plethora of updates in regards to this franchise. Not just that, but a lot of different Instagram accounts have provided a lot of updates for the production of this movie. Whether that's the makeup crew, whether that's the cinematographers, the actors, they all have provided many updates, and a lot of the screenshots that I have in this video come from there. So make sure you guys go follow Scott Chambers as well as many of the actors from Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, because they provide us with some pretty cool stuff like this every so often. So first things first, this movie is going to be a circus movie through and through. Like, this movie is going to be taking place in a circus. And why is this going to be a circus movie, you may ask? Well, because the main villain of this movie, his name is going to be Balthazar von Woozle. Woozles? Like Heffalumps and Woozles? Get it? It's funny! But he is going to be the big villain in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3. In this interview clip from Richard Stanley, who is one of the writers of this movie, he explains exactly what his role is going to be in the movie, as well as what a lot of the shenanigans are going to be based around in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3.
Macabrely, ITN was sufficiently happy with the material that they also asked me to play the big bad. So I'm also the principal villain. I am Balthazar von Woozle, the proprietor and owner of Woozle's Circus and Toon Carnival, a traveling show that imprisons and enslaves public domain IP and beloved childhood characters and forces them to work for their honey. My character's 100 years old, hence the deranged.
Yeah. You're looking. I was like, man, you're looking a little rough today, Richard. But...
Yeah, I'm not human. I mean, you have no idea how hard it was logging on with these talons.
So yeah, you guys heard him correctly. Pooh Bear, Tigger, and Rabbit are now kidnapped animals in Woozle's circus, trapped in a circus full of public domain famous characters. And one of these famous public domain characters that has circulated on Instagram is actually the Little Mermaid. So we may be getting her in this movie. As you can see in this picture, they're not allowed to call her Ariel because for public domain rules. But yes, we see a picture of what is meant to be Ariel, who has been trapped in this circus, considering the fact that the Little Mermaid is public domain. Will we actually see Ariel in this movie? Who knows? But yes, Pooh Bear, Rabbit, and Tigger will be in this movie. And that's another unfortunate update that I have for you guys. According to Scott Chambers from his Instagram, it has been told Owl and Piglet will not be returning in this movie. Yeah, it's just gonna be Pooh, Rabbit, and Tigger, and this is due to the budget that they have on the makeup. Pooh Bear, Tigger, and Rabbit are going to pretty much be not just the main characters of this movie, but they're basically barely even gonna be villains, more like anti-heroes of this movie. The big villain in this movie is Balthazar von Woozle, so Pooh, Tigger, and Rabbit, they will be the anti-heroes of the movie.
I'm treating the bear with respect because for this outing, Winnie, Tigger, and Rabbit and the other creatures are no longer the bad guys because we've introduced a worse and a darker evil into the
I like
into
that.
Baker Wood, which has brought Winnie back towards being the protagonist of his own saga. This is also a backstory, so we get to basically explain the tragic and traumatic events that turned this beloved bear of very little brain into the rampaging psychopathic monster that he was in the last two movies.
Unfortunately, Owl and Piglet will not be making their return, but you can expect to see them in Poohniverse Monsters Assemble with all of the other characters from this franchise so far. We have new makeup looks for Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and Rabbit. They have upgraded the makeup company. The makeup companies have been known to do production work like Primate and the new Toxic Avenger movie, and they look now more animalistic. My theory as to why they look so different is because both Pooh and Tigger were injured last movie, so I imagine that they took some of that healing honey from the second movie and that evolved them into making them look more animalistic. Me personally, I'm a fan of all three of them. I appreciate how Tigger looks more like a tiger. I appreciate how Pooh Bear looks more yellow and has that weird brownish red suit that is getting closer and closer to being able to wear a red shirt, but just reaching the cusp of not being sued by Disney. And Rabbit, just what the hell is this thing, man? With these new makeup designs that we have for these characters, Pooh Bear may be getting something very significantly done to him. Through more leaked images online through Scott Chambers and one of the makeup artists, we see Pooh Bear with a burn scar. So at some point in this movie, Winnie the Pooh is going to be set on fire and looking like this absolutely terrifying abomination. So yeah, we're getting major upgrades in the looks of these movies and in the looks of these animals, and I am all here for it. Something else we know about the movie is that Mary Robin will be returning in the movie. So I don't know how that's going to work, because for those of you who aren't aware, Mary Robin is the girlfriend of Christopher Robin, who dies in the first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie, who gave us this magnificent line delivery from Christopher Robin.
Pooh, you need to help me, please. But there's something wrong with Piglet. He just killed my wife.
So I don't know if this is going to be done through flashbacks or what, but as you can see, it is also a different actor from the first movie, because as we know by now, the first movie is a movie in this universe. So the Mary Robin, just like Christopher Robin's actor, has been changed. And speaking of Metaness in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, another one of these images that we see is of the circus. And in this circus, we see multiple people wearing the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey mask. So yes, this movie has a fandom in this movie, and I'm all here for the meta-ness, man. Just get more meta as these movies go along. And the last thing I'll show in this is that the Woozle Circus has a red van. And this is me theorizing, but this red van looks very similar to the van that Peter Pan drove in Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. And as we know in that movie, at one point, Peter Pan worked at a circus. So this leads me to wonder if the exact same circus in Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare is going to be the same circus as Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, owned by Balthazar von Woozle. And something else that we can at least theorize is that there will be Woozles in this circus as well, just considering that we have seen circus performers dressed up as Weasel. And as any true die-hard Winnie the Pooh stan, such as myself, will tell you, the Woozles and Heffalumps are basically demented versions of elephants and weasels. So we can expect to see the Heffalumps in this movie as well, possibly. But for now, we see circus performers dressed up as weasels, and we can assume that those will be the Woozles in our movie. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3 already sounds very interesting, and I can't wait for this movie to come out. And I will provide you guys with more updates depending on how this video does. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Follow all my social medias in the description down below. And Take care, y'all.